Hey, Blue Rockers. Welcome to Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. This is Connie Willis, and this is a Far Out Thursday. Yay! So, Blue Rockers, Earth's most interesting conversations, that's what Blue Rock Talk is all about. And if you subscribe, you are an official Blue Rocker. That is someone in the know. So be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and enjoy all the cool shows that we've got here. In fact, I'm going to show you what those cool shows are right now. Now, you got to know this too. I got merchandise now. I don't have hats. I know a lot of you like hats. Guys like hats. I like hats. But I do have hoodies and shirts right now. The hats take a special embroidery type of thing. So hang on. The actual Blue Rock Talk logo is a little bit more in depth than this place is ready for with the embroidery, but we've got cool hoodies and things like that, shirts, and also mugs in there too. Now, if you want to support Blue Rock Talk, well, you can do that in crypto. The links are down below. You can also go to my Patreon account, and you can keep Blue Rock Talk alive. Now, the different shows that we have, Crypto Connie Tuesday, that is all about cryptocurrencies, and we talk about the BitShares dynasty. We have Stan Larimer, the godfather of BitShares. He is one top dog, and we keep it in layman's terms for you. And because I'm talking with him, if I don't understand it, it's not in layman's terms enough, so he makes sure he gets it down to the lamiest of all. And that, hey, it's all about learning how to do it, because I know that's a tough thing, and that's why we do the show. Now, Wednesdays, we have a couple different things going on. Just started Swellness Wednesday, and we just started that last night with Essential Health and Margot Toms. She's teaching us all about the hormone therapy replacement as well as weight loss and HCG. I'm doing both of those, and I'm feeling really good, and I hope that you will join us on the next show or check out the archive shows as well. That's I'm feeling pretty good, and those of you not feeling all that great, let me tell you, maybe this is the reason, so check it out. Also, in the future coming up, we don't have this yet, but it is Wasted Wednesdays, and that will be a serious look at the cannabis industry. Hopefully you'll tune into that as soon as that starts. A lot of you also already know about this show. That is Bigfoot Friday. That explains itself, correct? Now, tomorrow night, I will not be doing a Bigfoot Friday because I'm going to be on Coast to Coast. But I do have the link below for the documentary that I just put together. It was a day in the Rockies, and I call it Bigfoot in the Rockies. You will see so many things in the 7 hours that we were there, just in this like an hour, 15-minute video. It's quite amazing. It was fun. I put it together. It's funny how everybody's a film critic all of a sudden when you just put something up there. I pretty much did it in the raw and put the music and the sound effects that I wanted to put into it because I made it. And if you want to do a video without any sound effects or music, then go do one. And that's cool, right? I won't criticize yours, and you can do whatever you want with mine because you're going to anyway, right? I don't know what it is. Everybody's got an opinion now, and they just want to give it. Now, we also have Stan's Bible Lecture. That's 2 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. It ain't your daddy's Bible class, we like to say. It's a lecture, and he will take you on with anything that you'd like to talk about. Of course, we have our Far Out Fridays that are going on right now. And again, like I said, I will be on Coast to Coast. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about the Rendlesham incident, and we're going to have Jim Peniston on. Jim is, he's got a new book coming out, and he's going to be talking about things he's never talked about before. So I'm excited that he chose to work with me on that and tell a lot of big secrets. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm going to learn a few things myself. And as we like to say right now, too, da-da-da-da, Far Out Thursday's happening. So I want to say hi and make sure everybody can hear us. Is it all coming out good? Everybody hear everything? I'm going to turn it up myself here. Hold on. Yep, there we go. Yay! All right, so we are good, and we are good to go. Now, on a Far Out Thursday, did I tell everything? I think I did. I told you about the Bigfoot Friday video, right? The link is down below. All the links for everything is down below. And I guess the only other thing is to remind you once again, be sure to subscribe to be an official Blue Rocker and hit that notification bell, because not only are all those shows happening, but I can just break in live at any moment, at any time, with anything. That's what it's all about here on Blue Rock Talk, just having fun, having a good time. However, currently it's free. Those of you that are helping me on Patreon, thank you. We'll keep it alive. But if that support doesn't happen, it's probably going to become a membership site, everybody. So, just saying, be prepared. I know for the most part, everybody else doing exactly what I'm doing. They're all making you pay. I was trying to do it live for free, but I don't know. Sometimes you got to force people into it. I can talk to Lori about that. She probably knows some answers to that too. It's just the way it is. But in fact, let's do so tonight. Who we're going to talk to is Lori Williams. You know her as the professional remote viewer and remote viewing instructor, right? You've seen her here on Blue Rock Talk several times with the Blue Rock Talk Bafflers, where I will give her a target and she looks into it and gives us, what she's found, and we talk about that on our Baffler show. Usually it's esoteric or something just out of the norm, right? So it's fun. She has talked about EarthShips briefly before, and I've also had her on Coast to Coast many times too. She's all over the place. It's just the way it is, and it's a good thing because she's a good friend too. I've known her for quite a while, and we get each other's vibe. Even though she was here at the last second, we pulled it together because we are techno people. We are the geeks. We are good. We know what we're doing, and I'm going to bring her on. And everybody, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the most wonderful and the most awesome Lori Williams. Yay! The Muppets go crazy. Yay! Hey, how are you?
Hey, Connie, it's great to see you. As always, your beautiful smile.
Oh, thank you, and yours as well. You're looking good. Where are you again, and how cold is it there?
Well, I am in Mountain Air, New Mexico, which is in the center of New Mexico. And we're up here in my office, we're up at about 6,500 feet. I'm not sure how cold it is, but we got into the office tonight and it was pretty chilly. The heater hadn't been on, so it feels like it's about 40 degrees in here, but I'm sure it's a little warmer than that.
Ooh, I don't know. Well, you got your little shawl going.
Yeah, I've got like 3 layers on. I've got this little sweater, this little red thing, and then I've got a black sweater on under that, and then I got a shirt on under that. So I've got 4 layers on now.
It'll keep you awake for the show, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna fall asleep on us. So what's going on before we talk about EarthShips? Because tonight it's Far Out Thursday, Earth's most interesting conversations here on Blue Rock Talk, and Lori's going to talk about something very interesting, and that's where she lives. It's called EarthShips. But before that, Lori, you have some new books out, and I think I even got. Hold on here as you talk about it. I think I might have what it looks like here, right next to you. I'm gonna put it right next to you. Is that right? You see?
Yes, there's my new book. It's going to be coming out very shortly. It is Boundless: Your How-To Guide to Practical Remote Viewing, and this book is going to cover phase 1 of the remote viewing process. So a 3-day workshop for your beginner's class, for example, covers phases 1, 2, and 3. But we didn't want to put out a huge, thick tome that people would feel overwhelmed by trying to read. So we're coming out with each phase in one book. So there'll be total, when we cover basic, intermediate, and advanced remote viewing, we're going to have 6 books in total. Each one will be a different phase of the remote viewing process. So phase 1's about to come out. I think everybody's going to love it. It's a lot of fun. There's great exercises in it. It's really down to earth, and it's going to let anybody learn how to do some basic remote viewing. So,
okay. Well, I think too that I'm looking forward to that. I think too. Did I get is that a second book too? Oh, okay. I know what it is.
Yeah, that's my second book.
Okay, I'm going to throw this one out too, so you can talk about that one.
This book you can get now in paperback or on Kindle. This book actually was inspired by my students who needed this information. In all the years of the remote viewing program, they used what we call monitors, who were kind of like the woman who helped Edgar Casey. She was there, she took notes, she was there to support him in his work while he was in trance. In a CRV, we don't go into trances, but it's really helpful to have somebody there who's just there to support you. I mean, my monitor gets me a drink of water or a cup of tea, or makes sure the room is the right temperature, and also asks curious questions. If I mention something, it might be, oh, could you tell me more about that? That sort of thing. So that is actually an art to do that without leading someone to information. And so my students, nothing had ever been written about how to do that. So I wrote this book. It's not only for remote viewers, it's also for professional intuitive teams, psychic teams. And when I wrote it, I sent it to Mel Riley. A lot of people might know who Mel is. He was the first remote viewer in the Stargate psychic spying unit of the military. And he's also the only remote viewer to have the distinguished honor of having been in the unit for 2 tours of duty. And Mel is a highly respected remote viewer and a soldier. And so when I sent it to Mel, because he and I are dear friends, and I sent it to him as a gift, he called me. He said, I wish we had this. This would have been such an asset if we'd had this in the military unit. And that to me was like the highest praise. I was super excited by that.
That's because he's cool. I don't know. I've never met him. I've met, golly, let's see, Paul Smith, Lynn Buchanan, Joe McMonagle, Schwartz. Stephen Schwartz.
Yeah. Stephen Schwartz.
Is it Stephen or Stephen?
It's Stephen Schwartz.
But we normally say Stephen, but he likes Stephen, or for real?
That's what I've always heard him.
Oh, because he's an eccentric kind of guy. He's like, no, I'm Stephen. I ain't no Stephen, right? That's what I got from him. But I fell in love with his voice. I remember saying to him, "Oh my gosh, you have this incredible voice. I've never heard that before." With this wonderful voice tone coming out, he has a great voice.
He does.
Yeah. So, and then let's see, Lynn Buchanan, right? I guess that's about it for me. Yeah, but you know Mel really well, and everyone talks very highly of Mel. He's more of that. Is he Native American, or is he just with them all the time?
Well, what happened is Mel was raised in Wisconsin among the Ho-Chunk tribe, and so he was kind of adopted into the tribe, and he was raised with a lot of their traditions and things, and actually became so learned about it. He became one of the heads of the Ho-Chunk Museum. Curator of the museum, and he helps to create a lot of their costumes and tribal regalia. He's an expert in beading. He does like amazing beading. So he's been given the honor of being one of the elders of the Ho-Chunk tribe, even though blood-wise, genetically, he's really not Ho-Chunk.
He is the white man.
He's the white adopted Ho-Chunk person.
Yeah. But man, he did do something for me one time through you. We were working on doing some sort of pilot for a television show. Remember? I don't know if you remember.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
He did something with the pyramids.
He did. And he's
stuff that
amazing remote viewer. Amazing.
And not only that, he found some stuff that, I don't know, maybe we'll have to show that secret one day. But he was incredible at drawing it out. It was amazing. So he's known for that, though, right? Being a really good
He is. And, one thing Lynn used to say about Mel was, if Mel does a session for you, you can take it to the bank because it's that good. I mean, he's very dependable, very consistently accurate.
Wow. Just like you. What are you, 82, 87%?
87. At least.
Go, girl. It's awesome. Hey, everybody that's in the live chat, you're watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis. This is a Far Out Thursday, and I'm just checking to make sure it's okay in here, and everybody is saying hi. Hi, everybody. Let me say hi back. Hi, everybody.
Hey,
okay.
Everybody.
Lori Williams with us here. She is a professional remote viewer and an instructor as well, and she is going to be talking to us about EarthShips. But now I do want you to get out anything about your classes. Is there anything new about the classes?
We have a full year of classes on the schedule. Our website is being rebuilt as we speak, piece by piece. They're trying to do it carefully so Google doesn't go and take away all of our Google. What is it? What's it called? Your Google standing or whatever. We have a pretty good standing because I just did an interview for a show in Canada yesterday. And the interviewer said, have you been respected as a woman in this industry? And I laughed and I said, I think my respect that's come has come just because I'm so tenacious and I've hung in there. They say the name of the game is to stay in the game till you win the game, and I've been here since 1996. They just can't get rid of me. So, so I think that's. So I ended up with a pretty good Google standing just because I've been around so long, and I've had a website up for a long time. But anyway, so yeah, we've got a full roster of classes. Now the classes I teach online. They're live. We can hear each other. We can see each other just like we are right now. We're on Zoom. We use Zoom as our teaching platform. So anybody can come and attend a 3-day workshop in remote viewing. It's excellent. We have both controlled remote viewing, associated remote viewing, extended remote viewing, and even healing classes using remote viewing as a healing tool. So these are all classes that we offer. We even offer a CRV for professional viewers. Once you've reached a certain level, then we really help you become a professional and be able to use remote viewing as a business and as a professional. And I think our school is the only one that does that. But in addition to that, we also offer, we now have 4 mentoring clubs. We have an international mentoring club for all of the international students. I think I've now taught over 1,000 students, and many of the students take all of the workshops. So they come over and over again. But we are now teaching with a follow-up mentoring club, and anybody who takes the basic class gets 4 months free mentoring, where we go over your sessions individually and really help give a regular assignments, assign a partner to you to work with you, and it's been lots of fun. There's lots of follow-up, and I think we're the only school that offers that as well in remote viewing. So it becomes a real community, a lot of camaraderie.
That is also a lot of fun. I've been doing it with her, and it's been it's just mind-blowing stuff. A lot of people, they don't think that they have the ability to do it. And people have asked me, well, how soon did you know you could do it? Within 5 minutes. And I think Joe McMonagle teaches it that way too, right? I can teach you within 5 minutes, right? I think it was him that said something.
I think so. Yeah, he teaches a different technique, but yeah, I think that's what he does. And I still remember, Connie, that we drove down to Palo Duro Canyon, which is about 30 minutes south of Amarillo, Texas, and the second largest canyon in the United States. And I remember you sticking your head out the window and yelling, "I'm a remote viewer!"
I did.
Yeah, it was really funny.
I don't even remember that. Oh my gosh. Are you sure? Are you sure I did that?
Yeah, Jim and I looked at each other like, ooh.
Oh no, she's a strange one. Let's kick her out now.
You were just so excited.
Leave her in the canyon.
You were so excited though, and we loved your exuberance.
Oh, thanks. Well, it was when I had learned it, what happened was Lori did Basic 101, and then people from there would go to Lynn Buchanan. So she set everybody up for Lynn. Now she does her own. And so, she's the one who gets you over that initial hump, because you think, no. Then all of a sudden you get it. And it's amazing. It just totally wakes up your entire mind. It almost has you sitting there stalled, and the rest of your body goes back and looks at yourself from afar, because you've expanded that much that quickly, instantly, because it doesn't hurt. You didn't sit there and go for hours. It just happened. And so it's something that's always there innately. You just don't know you have it.
Yeah, it's true. I like to say that, prior to studying controlled remote viewing, which is like a mental martial art, you're it's kind of like the tail wagging the dog. You might have an ability, but you don't have any control over it. But then when once you study CRV and you learn, then you have control over it, like getting in the driver's seat, having your hands on the steering wheel. So it makes a huge difference for people. And we're now using it in so many great applications, like archaeology. We were able to help an archaeologist who had been searching in the ocean for 40 years for some artifacts. We were able to help him find the GPS location. We gave him the GPS coordinates and told him what he'd find when he got there, and took divers out. He took equipment out, and he found exactly what the viewers said were there. We've been able to use it, of course, with police, things that people expect, like, police work and missing people. But additionally, now there's so many things. I have so many students now who are physicians, psychologists, scientists. I even have had computer programmers who use it to find problems inside their computers.
Oh, I love it. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's quite amazing. We have CEO. I've been really honored to teach some CEOs of some major corporations that everybody would be aware and would know of, and they use it to help with their strategic planning and things like that.
We
So
need you in the cryptocurrency world.
I need to listen to some of your shows that are about cryptocurrency.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. So, when you said you found the archaeologist, what he was looking for in the waters,
Mhm.
now everybody, and then we'll get to EarthShips, but you're never supposed to know anything up front. You
Right.
don't want to have any knowledge. But at that point, when you're trying to find some location, something like that, do you take more information or is it still hidden?
Every operational project is different, and it depends on who's running the project. Now, in this particular project, the archaeological one that I mentioned, I was one of the project managers. I
Okay.
wasn't a viewer on that project, and we had 10 viewers and
Wow.
4 project managers. This was a big, big project,
Yeah.
and there were 200 square miles of ocean. And so we what the viewers were given, we were told that we told them the target's a location, describe the location. So that was all the information they were given. We gave them a coordinate number, but it wasn't a latitude longitude coordinate. It was just the usual blank number that we use for mainly for databasing purposes. And then we also, once they had done some viewing and given us some results, just kind of their initial impressions, then we sent them a blank map and ask them to do some advanced work on this blank piece of paper and just tell us what they found in certain spots, and then we could lay that piece of paper over the map, over the actual
Right.
map. But they didn't
Right.
see the actual map. They only saw a blank piece of paper with the edges marked.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty exciting because then they marked these spots and they numbered them in their order of importance to the customer, right, to the archaeologist. So we're just like, please mark what you find on this map in the order of importance that it would be to the customer. So then they had to determine that and give us these. And then, so number one became a GPS thing. And then we were able to transfer all that information onto transparencies, the kind you use for an overhead projector. And then we were able to put the transparencies on top of each other and create a map that showed the areas of agreement and stuff. And so we ended up producing this very professional report that was like, I don't know,
Wow.
maybe half an inch thick. And the hilarious thing was that when I first met this archaeologist, he said, "Oh yeah, I've worked with remote viewers." And I knew that he hadn't. I knew that he had worked with psychics, but I didn't argue with him. But then when he got the report, he called me and he was so excited he could hardly speak. And he said,
Oh,
I have never worked with remote viewers. I've worked with psychics. I've never seen anything
that's
like this.
right.
This is
That's
so
right.
professional. This is so amazing. And he was so flipped out.
That's
So it was
right.
lots of fun.
But you know what? That's because a lot of psychics call themselves remote viewers, and they're not remote viewers. It's just a cool term to be called, say,
It's
right?
become the term remote viewing has become kind of a catch-all for anything because right after the program became declassified, I think in 1995, a lot of the men in the unit who had been teaching in the unit were contacted by civilians saying, I want you to teach me. But they would always start out with, "I've been a remote viewer for 40 years. I'm a crystal ball remote viewer." Or I'm a tarot remote viewer, I'm a palm reading remote viewer, and it used to irritate these military men who were so staunch and this is not woo-woo, this is science. And so it was kind of funny, kind of a funny, just a little anecdote there.
This is Lori Williams. You're watching Blue Rock Talk with Connie Willis on a Far Out a Thursday. Thank you for letting me know that you couldn't hear her that well. I went ahead and turned her up, so I'm hoping now that you guys can do that. Yeah, I always did. What's great about a live chat is you always have those people there, Lori, that are telling you,
That's
I don't
great.
hear it, I don't see her. She's, looking like this, or you're sounding like that, and
I
they
hope I'm not looking like anything weird.
they'll tell me. She's got something weird on
Yeah,
her.
hey Connie, why does Lori have a beard?
What's going on with her? Right? Yeah, she just instantly grew too. What's going on? She got fangs coming out now too.
Are horns growing on top of her head, or is that a glitch in the system?
They will tell me. I love it. So thanks, Jim, for letting me know. That's a true blue rocker. So anyway, more information on that later that I'll talk to you about on that, Lori, with some. I got something to talk to you about. Anyway, we'll do that at another time. So. I guess I was going to say one more thing about the remote viewing. When it did happen, I just remember just how amazing it was. So you guys, if you are interested in remote viewing, this is who you want to take the class with right here. I can back it up. I've done it myself and still do with her classes. There's so many of them and they're so fun. And once you do it, you're not going to stop. So be prepared. It will be a lifetime thing. And you will also know Lori for a long time too.
One of the reasons for that, Connie's taken advantage of a free retake policy that we have. So yeah, when you are one of my students and you've taken a class like you took basics, let's say, you're able to retake basic as often as I teach it. I teach it 4 times a year. You can retake it as often as you like for free, up to 2 years. And if you're a member of the mentoring club, then there's no limit. There's no 2-year limit. You can just keep retaking. And it's not just for basic. It's for really any class I teach. So you can go on and read all about it at my website at intuitivespecialist.com.
And I have all her links down below too.
Oh, thanks, Connie.
Okay, sure. Let's see. So, all right. EarthShips. Now, I just want to make sure we're all good in here. Everybody can hear everybody. Can you hear now? Everybody good?
Can you guys hear me?
All good. Let's see here. Okay. Well, I'll just turn it up myself and find out. It's such a delay on these things.
Maybe I should turn up my. Does that help?
You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Don't touch anything.
Okay.
Don't touch anything. Can hear Lori, and I can't hear Connie hardly at all when I reduce the volume. I hear you pretty loud. Let me just hit a couple things here. Just live streaming. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to turn you down a tad.
I think you're so brave to do this, though. Wow. Yeah. That's a lot to take on, and you have just taken on so many challenges since I've known you, and just face the lions and the Sasquatches.
Oh my gosh.
One of my students sent me a Sasquatch doll.
Oh, really?
A big Sasquatch doll. He said, I'm sending you some feedback from the session you did for Connie, and then he sends me this big Sasquatch doll.
That's excellent.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I do have the links for that baffler that she's talking about right now down in the description box. Okay, so I hope, I'm just going to listen one more time. I think I fixed everything. The delay is so bad. But
maybe I should turn it my.
See how.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's a long delay. So hold on one second here just to hear it. So just give me a second here. Yeah, it's amazing with live streaming and YouTube and all the different apps.
I think you're so brave to do this, though.
There you go. You just have all these problems. Okay, I think we're good.
Just face the lions and the Sasquatches.
Yeah, I think we're going to go with it. Okay. All right, I think so. I think we're going to be good. Maybe I need to go up a little bit more. Just a tad more. And there we go. Okay. All righty, we're going to go with it. Okay. All right, so we want to talk about something called EarthShips. This is where Lori lives. So you tell me what they are, and let me know when you're ready. I'll put up some of the things you were talking about too.
Okay. Well, up until about a little over a year and a half ago, Jim and I lived at our training center in Amarillo, Texas, which was kind of like a big bed and breakfast. We had 7 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms and 3 living rooms and, big garage. It was a huge, huge place. And we were living there quite happily. We remodeled the whole thing. We spent like $200,000 remodeling. It was gorgeous. But there was something about it. We just sort of felt like we're really using a lot of the Earth's resources here. We use a lot of water with 4 bathrooms and a big kitchen and just all the electricity to run it. It had 2 central air, 2 central heating. And the more we were reading about what's going on with the planet, the more convicted we felt, like this is not a good thing. We have 9 children and 20 grandkids. And what's going to happen to the grandkids and the kids of the grandkids if there's nothing left for them? So we were kind of really troubled about this, but we didn't really know what to do about it. And one day we were coming back from celebrating our anniversary in Colorado, and we were coming through New Mexico, and we were going somewhere near Taos, about 30 minutes outside of Taos. And there were these really weird space, like really strange structures in the desert. And I was like, what are those? And Jim said, you want me to turn around? I was like, yeah, let's turn around. So we found this visitor center. We went in. It was called EarthShip Biotecture. So they had a visitor center. We went in, and this really enthusiastic young guy started telling us all about Michael Reynolds, an architect, who, when he got out of architectural school 47 years ago, felt like buildings should serve their occupants and take care of them that independently of electricity and things like that. So right now, many cities, if you were to, for example, have the power go out in the middle of the summer, so many people die, especially the elderly, because it gets too hot. It gets up to 110 degrees, and these people are dying like flies because there's no power to power the air conditioners. Same thing for the winter. If the electricity goes off and homes are heated through electricity, or if they are heated through gas and something happens to the gas lines, then people freeze to death. And so he felt like homes should protect their occupants outside of external heating and cooling. And then he also was concerned about the amount of garbage that's been piling up on the planet. Tires, mountains of tires. Outside of Jamaica, they throw their tires in the ocean. And there is literally a mountain of tires that is as high as a true mountain. And then there's also places on the earth where the tires that are piled up in landfills have caught fire, and they can't put the fires out. And they just burn and burn and burn and burn. So he was like, what if we could use garbage like tires and make structures out of them, homes that protect the occupants? And he came up with this concept of using tires inside of walls, earth-filled tires like bricks, and then covering those tires with adobe and lots of things, so that there's no off-gassing. You can't see them, you can't smell them. They're inside the walls, but they keep the house completely temperate. They keep you cool in the summer, they keep you warm in the winter. And they're beautiful. And there's one side of the house that's completely windows that faces the southern sun. So in the wintertime, when the sun is kind of low in the horizon, it crosses the sky and it warms all those walls. And those tires that are filled with earth act like a thermal mass. They absorb that heat like batteries. When things get really cold at night, we're high up in the mountains. So when the temperatures drop down into the 20s or less, we even had a day where it got down to 5 below zero. So when it gets super duper cold and the temperatures outside drop, inside the house, those tires release the heat they've been storing into the room. So we've been keeping track of the internal temperatures. And in the winter, and this is the coldest winter we've ever experienced in the house. This is our second winter in the house. Normally, the average temperatures where we live average about 30 degrees in the winter. That's like the average cold. Like I said, we had a huge snowstorm. We were actually locked in for 6 days in our EarthShip. And so we kept really good track of the temperatures when it was 5 below zero outside. The coldest it got in the coldest part of the house was 59 degrees. And that's with no fires going, no heating going. And in our bedroom, it never got colder than 65 degrees. Now, you may think, I wouldn't want to be in a place that's 59 degrees. However, we do have a wood stove that we can fire up and warm things up with. But we deliberately didn't fire up the wood stove because we wanted to see how cold it would get without any heating. And if you think about it, you're not going to die at 59 degrees. You can put on a jacket and you're fine. So even if there's nothing else and you're just in your EarthShip with no electricity, or no gas, or no fire, and no firewood, you're still going to be okay at 59 degrees. In the summertime, the hottest it ever got, and when you move into the EarthShips, you have to learn how to manage them because they use the physics of convection. to keep the house temperate. So when you're in the summertime and the windows are right there, you want to lower the shades. And so when the house gets cool at night, then in the morning you lower the shades to keep the house cool, and you open certain doors and windows to keep convection flowing through the house and keeping the house cool. So before we knew how to do that, we would just leave everything, the shades open and the doors closed, so the house got warm. And the warmest it ever got was in the main part of the house. It got to, I think, 85, which is pretty warm, but it won't kill you. And in our bedroom, the hottest it got was 76 degrees, and that's with 100-degree temperatures and above outside. So, so again, no matter what happens, and even under the most extreme conditions, you're going to be relatively comfortable and safe from dying from extreme temperatures. The houses, the EarthShips also
no dying, please.
No dying, no dying.
I don't want to hear about this house.
Yeah, you're not going to die. And so we actually have now learned to control things where we can keep the house quite comfortable summer and winter. And the houses also capture water, rainwater. And we live in the desert, so it's really great because when the rainwater comes, we have the cisterns. We also have a solar well. And so we're able to have plenty of water in the desert, and we're able to use that water. We capture the water, for example, from the kitchen sink when we wash dishes. We capture the water from the shower, and we use that water again to water plants and things like that. We can grow plants all along the front windows. So if we want to grow food, when we first moved in, I set up all kinds of plants. So I had every kind of herb imaginable growing there, and we also grew things like spinach and lettuce and I can't even remember, chard, onions and things like that. So we grew a lot of food just right along our front windows. And so it's a really great way. And EarthShip Biotecture, which I believe has a website that's earthshipglobal.com. These guys go all over the world helping in disaster areas. They went to Haiti after the earthquake and after some of the hurricanes there, and they taught the people how to build really simple EarthShips called the Simple Survival. And actually, Connie, it's the coolest thing. You can buy an app for your iPhone or your Android phone called the Simple Survival app. It's EarthShip Biotecture app. It's only like $9.99 or $10. And it gives the full floor plans, everything you need to build your own simple EarthShip. And the simple EarthShip has a fully functioning flushing toilet. It has a fully functioning indoor greenhouse, so you can grow food and capture water. And it's all made from garbage. So they go into these countries where a lot of times after a disaster, you know how like in Puerto Rico, for example, where they had the horrible hurricanes there, and in Haiti where they've had earthquakes, a lot of times people die because the water becomes polluted from bodies and nastiness. Well, the great thing about the Simple Survival is it captures and purifies rainwater. So when they teach the people how to gather up garbage and build themselves a shelter that captures clean water, they're saving lives. And then those people can go on and teach other people. And it's a simple thing. It costs next to nothing other than labor and garbage. And you might have to buy a little bit of cement and maybe some, in some of these places, they don't even get glass for the windows. They use plastic sheeting and things like that. And so it's a wonderful thing, and these people are traveling all over the world. They just went a few days ago and did their, I think, third or fourth build in Puerto Rico because they're teaching the Puerto Ricans how to create simple survival homes and regular EarthShips to help them in this crisis. A lot of people who were left homeless by the latest hurricane there.
I love all these new ideas of homes. There's another one I want to show you that I like, but I want to show your pictures first here. So I'm going to show them, and you tell us what we're looking at here. I'm hoping everything's good with my audio. I think I'm a little quieter than you, and I don't know why that's happening to me.
You sound great right now. I can hear you very well.
Oh, were you not hearing me before?
No, I've heard you well the whole time, but now you sound even better than you did.
Oh, maybe I got to get really close to the mic. Which I hate to do that. So you can, okay. Well, I don't know if I'm going out, honestly, to other people. Hold on here. Darn it, it doesn't, I'm not seeing anything here. Why is that? And I know I got me pushed over there, right? I got me. There we go. Yeah.
Oh
One, two,
boy.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I'm so low. Let me hit it again here. But you go ahead and talk, and you tell me what we're looking at there. Is that part of
Okay.
your house?
That is. That's the house I live in.
I can't wait to
And
see it.
this is the yeah, you've got to come out, Connie. You're going to love it. This is the west end of the house. The house that we live in is about 1,400 square feet. And so you're looking at the west end of the house, and that round hobbit-looking like thing. Everybody's like, it looks like a hobbit house.
Mm-hmm.
That round thing right there is actually the water cistern. So rain falls, it falls on the roof, and then it's channeled into that round cistern that you're looking at right there. And so that thing is holding a bunch of water. And if you go up those, so if you see that shadowy part there on the right side of the screen, that's the door that goes into the main house. If you come out that door and go up those steps, then if you turn to the left there, you go along a little pathway, and there's a gorgeous view of the mountains, the Monsanto Mountains, and you're basically standing in our driveway in front of our garage, and that's what that is. That's what we're looking at there. I think that hole that we're looking at is the overflow for the cistern, so that if the cistern gets too full, some of it will overflow right there, and there's a little planter right there that it can overflow into and water plants. And this is right there. We're standing right by our dining table, looking back towards the living room, carpeted living room back there, and there's a fireplace. You can't quite see the fireplace way in the edge of the photo there, the left edge. The kitchen is out of the photo to the left. And we had to buy a normal refrigerator. We had a solar fridge that finally gave up the ghost after about 30 years. But that's a normal person's fridge. It's a regular refrigerator running on the batteries and the solar panels that we have on the roof. And you can see we have a native flagstone floors there. That's right from the area that we live in, and those are natural flagstone. And Connie, before we moved out here, I had really bad plantar fasciitis in my feet. It was very painful. And we moved out here, and I started walking barefoot on these flagstone floors, which are not smooth. They've got little bumps in them. And it cured my plantar fasciitis. I don't have it anymore. And it's really great for your feet, really great to ground you, balance out all the electrons and things in your body. So it's really a very grounding experience to walk on that flagstone. Are you there? Oh, okay. There's the fireplace, and this was actually right after we moved in. We hadn't put up the paintings yet. There was really the room's pretty much